is Aunty B, Positivity. Welcome to another episode of my podcast. As you see, I have a lovely friend here. It's giving guests. Consistently, it's giving guests, okay? And as you know, this is dropping on the day of love. So happy Valentine's Day. And I want to let my friend introduce herself so we can get to our topic.
Hi, I'm Mahi. I am Baylene's friend. That is my number one identifier.
Oh, gosh.
And after that, I am a family lawyer and an artist.
Yeah, what type of art?
I love to paint. I really like to write, but I'm not writing things for other people to read, just sad diary entries.
A mood with that one. Speaking of diary entries, this is going to be a chaotic but yet fun and wholesome episode. The vibe is let's talk about Valentine's Day. Mm-hmm. Our jobs, I'm a family lawyer, she's a family lawyer. We do divorce every day, unfortunately, multiple times a day. And that's the end of somebody's marital union. Sometimes for the best, sometimes they sad. Sometimes they get divorced on Monday. And 6 months later, I'm drafting their prenup for the same couple to get remarried. I promise you it has happened.
Yeah.
So I want to talk about our thoughts on Valentine's Day. I will go first, let you think, and then you can go. First thought on Valentine's Day, cringe. I dislike it. I am 27 and I was just a romantic late bloomer, right? So I didn't have boyfriends in middle school and high school and college. I went on dates, but didn't have a serious relationship until I was in law school, which is 24 to 26. I don't know. Mid-20s was when I was in law school for me. So whenever Valentine's Day came around, I was like, oh God, everybody's in love. The date nights are booked out. You guys are buying the candy. And it was just for me in my younger years, a reminder of loneliness. Once I got to college, then I started celebrating Valentine's Day and celebrating love in other relationships. So that kind of made it better and more wholesome. And now in my season, whatever the heck we're going to call this season that I'm in, Valentine's Day once again is more pressure because I am in my casual date season. And now it's well, are we Valentines? Are we all Valentines? So I think there's just a lot of pressure associated with Valentine's Day and with finding love and having a person and publicly displaying your relationship as opposed to having intimate moments. So I think there's just a lot of public pressure to show love on Valentine's Day. So it is not my favorite holiday personally. Those are kind of my thoughts. It's just very cringy and a lot of pressure. And if you don't have this aesthetic cookie cutter relationship, you're kind of falling on your face in a way.
I mostly agree. I agree it's very cringy. Mostly, I associate Valentine's Day with being really performative.
See.
And it starts in elementary school when we're all, dropping the little paper Valentines in the other kids' boxes. And, the rich kid has the paper Valentines with, really nice chocolate tape to it.
Okay.
And then, everyone else has whatever they had at the dollar store.
Sweet tarts. Yep, exactly.
But even as an adult, I think... and this relates to our job a little bit. Mm-hmm. It's just a day where people compare their love to other people's. And it's who are you? Who are you comparing this to? Right. And also, we should talk about how much of a misnomer the term family lawyer is. Because, like you said, we mostly deal in divorce.
Just making two families now.
Yeah.
Or more. 2+.
Yeah. But I feel a lot of people, when they are coming to a family law firm and reaching out in the initial consultation and trying to figure out what attorney they want to work with. When you ask them what is the cause for divorce, I mean, you're kind of asking them for a very specific legal thing.
Right.
But normally they don't realize that's what you're asking for. Yeah. And they just kind of start telling you their life story, which I love.
Oh, same. It's for the tea. We are here for the tea. Absolutely. And lawyer on the side. That's the setup.
The lawyer part is just a bit.
Exactly.
But yeah, people will be oh, my husband didn't do this, or my wife didn't do this, my spouse didn't do this. And they're always comparing themselves to this ideal relationship that doesn't exist.
Literally does not exist.
And so many people get divorced ultimately for the same reason, which is they kind of were no longer sharing in the household responsibilities at the same level that they were when they first got together, or they just wanted to explore connections with other people.
That's a really beautiful way for her to say adultery. Real cute way to say it.
If it's my client, it's exploring connections.
Okay. I hear you. Same. Okay, that's good.
I mean, no one has told me this, and I don't know the actual statistics, but I noticed at my firm, we got a huge uptick in new cases right after the holidays.
Oh, because,
I 100% think there's going to be a similar, if not much bigger, uptick in new cases right after Valentine's Day.
I agree. That's interesting. I didn't even think about that. So, again, we're talking about divorce. Not getting into details of work, we do family law. And people are not trying to get divorced on Christmas. So then they're like stuck in the house with the spouse they don't want to be married to anymore. They don't want to have these intimate moments together, and they're fighting it through for the kids. Don't do that. Another episode to come. You're harming the kids. But yeah, exactly. You're harming the kids. But we can
show people who have never been married
and have no children as well. But still, y'all hurt the kids.
After holidays.
Yeah, there's a rush. And slammed. 10 consults a day type of slammed because I just can't handle it. So I don't know. When you're ready, just pull up. You don't have to wait till a beautiful day. I will say I have 5 consults already for Valentine's Day. On Valentine's Day. And I said, this is aggressive.
Have you ever had a client try to serve the other party with the petition for divorce on a specific day?
I had one lady, it was 25-year marriage. He was cheating on her. It was a bad time. And it's not always the man that cheats, y'all. Cheating doesn't have a gender or a sex, okay? It does what it wants to who it wants. And she was like, I want to serve him on his birthday. Oh. And we did at his job because you pay us. So we got you, girl. Your little revenge service, ain't no problem. We absolutely got you. Another person served their spouse on their anniversary, and I said, this is violent. This is vicious. Have you had any revenge service?
No, I haven't gotten a lot of clients like that, thankfully.
It's a mixed bag. They're nice to me.
It's entertaining, but I'm glad that my clients so far have not been really petty in their litigation strategy. But I have had clients who are on such bad terms with their spouse or their partner that we're trying to serve that they don't even have an address. And so then we have to hire a private process server to find them
and then pay to serve them. Yeah.
So then you're tracking someone down at their job, and then the private process server is finding out additional facts about the case.
Yes. Next question, topic, thought. Valentine's Day and dating today. And dating today is just a really big kind of bubble. So I'll give my thoughts there very little because, like I said, I'm an inexperienced gal working on it. And then you can kind of tell me your thoughts. I think compared to when, our parents were dating, very different experience.
Our parents were dating.
Not your parents didn't date. Okay, that's fair.
No, my parents dated actually. They didn't have an arranged marriage.
Okay, well.
But it's the culture of dating was so different.
So different. You see people who've been married for 30 years and oh yeah, I saw her at a bar, got her number, and proposed 6 days later. And I was like, propose? I can't get a cup of coffee 6 days later. So I guess can give my experience is that I've only had one serious relationship, met them in school very organically, blah, blah, blah. It obviously ended. And I took a long emotional healing, get my professional life together break. And I was craving romantic connection in that way, but I didn't know what to do. I can only go a block at the club so many times without somebody hitting on you. And people were like, just go online, just try it. So I gave it a go. First 2 weeks, trash, terrible time. It almost is like social media in a way, right? You're always vying for likes, you're vying for attention. It has just enough pull to keep you addicted and continuously swiping. And I was like, I need more therapy sessions now because I need to process being undesired in a way I wasn't even aware that I was undesired. But it was just the apps that kind of created that. So that was my Hinge experience. Different apps for different folks. I don't know. But then I tried Bumble the second 2 weeks of my trial month, and it was the opposite problem. And it was there's too many matches. How do I weed you guys out? How do I maintain genuine conversations with all of you? So I think on either side of the dating app spectrum, it can be overwhelming and kind of have you flooded either with your own thoughts or with the thoughts of, 10 to 15 to 50 other people. So for me, dating today is kind of the apps. I don't know how many people are meeting still organically, in friend groups and at school and things. I'm sure it's happening, but it's almost so much easier to just meet on an app because you now know this person also has romantic interest in me or sexual interest in me. So it takes out the potential rejection of something else. Whereas if I'm swiping on you, I'm not hurting your feelings. If I don't think you're cute, it's no problem. We just gonna move right on past this. So I think that is how dating is, but there's so many more complicated things, and we can kind of give your thoughts and then maybe tell them about our safety plan.
Our safety plan. Yeah, no, Online dating is extremely busted. It's just not good. And another episode we should maybe do one day is about like the legal drama with Bumble. You know, they've gotten like,
I didn't even know.
They've had to pay out like so many class action lawsuits in the past couple of years.
Because danger?
Not because of danger, because it's more of like a financial thing. They charge.
Okay. Don't pay for the apps, y'all. You gonna get somebody. But just be patient.
Easy for us to say it's like women coded. Women coded.
What does that mean?
I mean, I don't know if I spiraling about my gender identity. Anyway, as women, we never should pay for dating apps. But I think like every man I know has paid for a dating app.
Really?
I mean, every man I know that I talk to about dating apps tells me that they have paid for dating apps.
I'm gonna have to ask my roster. I didn't know.
Yeah, because like on apps there are more men on the apps. And there are fewer women, so I think.
But there are not more men in the streets. Okay, I'd be looking. So
especially here in Atlanta, because here in Atlanta, I think many people have done studies on it. I think it's like 60% women in the single eligible dating in person in Atlanta.
Yes. And also, listen, we love them, but Atlanta also is like a very queer city. So if you're like for now in this phase of my life, I only am attracted to men. Okay, finding a man that is attracted to women at all, it's not. You can't tell. You don't know. I'm fine with that. I want everybody to find their love, but the pool is just so tiny in this city. So
yeah, the dating apps, they suck. And when you were talking about when you were on Hinge and you weren't getting matches and it was making you feel bad about yourself, I was thinking about how one of the most twisted things about dating apps that I always forget when I'm using them, but then I get really angry about when I'm off, is that they have no obligation to you to be honest about your matches. I genuinely think Hinge, especially, I don't know if they're doing this is just speculation. Yeah. I think they hold your matches and they don't actually let you match with people until certain other criteria are met, because I don't think, I like don't change my profile very often, but I go through these waves and I'm like, I don't think they're just like waves of me.
People being interested in you at this time. Yeah.
And even if there were waves, it wouldn't be like almost exactly every 2 weeks or something.
Okay, yeah.
I think what's happening is Hinge is tracking how many times I'm opening the app, how many times I'm swiping versus reading my chat boxes. Yeah. And based on their algorithms and based on whatever they can tell about my behavior based on my clicks, they're choosing, okay, well, start giving her matches now. And that's also how they keep us. That's also how they keep us addicted to the app, because it's right when we're at our lowest, they'll be like, oh, 3 people liked you in one day.
Here's some love.
And you're like, oh,
I guess I'll keep fighting.
Maybe I am worthy of life.
Oh God, a mood though.
Yeah, no, the way modern dating relates to Valentine's Day is there's just, I don't know. I feel like everything Valentine's Day themed exists exclusively to be put on an Insta story or something. And
which we love an Insta story. We love a reel, but like the world is kind of victimized to like having a reelable life.
Someone asked me to hang out on Valentine's Day, and I was like, yes, but please do not book us reservations at a fancy restaurant. Yes. I think for me personally, I've always appreciated Valentine's Day gestures that were really personal, and like a handmade gift has always meant a lot to me, or a well thought out date that's not like the script date. Go to a restaurant, get served like a chocolate dessert shaped like a heart.
Yes.
I don't think it's wrong to have Valentine's Day though, because I think it's good to have a day focused on love and positivity. Yeah, I agree. And my mom last year texted me the sweetest thing, because I mean we text. Yeah. She is my mom. Yeah. And on Valentine's Day, she was like, "Happy Valentine's Day. We should do a family Valentine's Day celebration. A Valentine's Day." And I was like, that's so cute.
My ovaries. Yeah. I will say, I still think it's cringy and stressful, especially for the people who are in their single season. I think it makes it really hard. But when you are in it, it can be really beautiful and really wonderful. You just have to open yourself up to like the possibility of not having a bad time. Like, I think last Valentine's Day, I went out to like Chili's with some girlfriends and had a great time. And we cheersed and had our margs and talked about how much we care about each other in that way. So I do think there's a lot of ways to like celebrate it and be present in it without feeling societal stresses of like Valentine's Day. And for all you know, what's the right word? the team too muchers, the masculine presenting people, the ones who feel the pressure, like, you don't have to propose, okay? You don't have to spend $4,000 on a meal. Like, you can like show your love in a way that doesn't have to be like monetary or like performative. Like, it can just be an authentic way.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
Do you ever like go out of your way to do something for your partners on Valentine's Day?
Yes.
What kind of things do you do? Okay. What kind of things do you do that you can talk about on this podcast?
I mean, I can talk about anything here. I did say I only like men, right?
Yeah.
And there are certain things that men like that are very easy to provide. And I feel like I work on those. But I also, I mean, one gift I can remember is like, I made like an old partner, like, I told you about like a hoodie with like lyrics that he really liked on it. Mm-hmm. And it was like, I'm like a blush pink hoodie, and we were like, had like matching outfits. And then we just like had a day in, and played fucking like video games all day. But it was just like a really quality time type of day. And the gift was meaningful because there was an activity associated with it. So I don't know. I try to do things that are like thoughtful, and I think I'm a good gift giver, but I try and give gifts that are experiences as opposed to like things. Cause like, I mean, we're lawyers, not unfortunately, but like a lot of my friends are lawyers, right? Like they can buy themselves the thing that they want, which is ideal. That's great. I love that you have your own money, but then it makes buying you gifts like harder because then you have to be more and more creative. Yeah. So I'm trying to get in my experience bag as opposed to.
I feel like I have always been someone that like Valentine's Day is the one holiday where I will let myself kind of take a back seat. Actually, I kind of do this on Christmas too because I'm Hindu. So I'm like, this isn't even my holiday. This is not for me.
Okay.
But like, I really go out. I try to go all out for people's birthdays, at least like romantic partners' birthdays. Mm-hmm. And I like stress myself out a ton. But on Valentine's Day, I'm like, you can treat me. That's okay.
Oh yeah, no, absolutely.
This is a transition.
Hi, friends. Yeah, we got a little off track, but we're right back on the horse, doing the best we can. I'm trying to get this up on the Day of Love, so you guys got to be patient with me. Next thing that I kind of want to talk about, which arguably the most entertaining part of this, will be the Hinge cringe, right? The dating apps. People are bold, and I have deactivated my accounts, so I don't have the physical evidence to show you. But these young men, and I'm sure if I had an option, these young women are bold, outrageous. The things that you hear are, you're just like, you would never say this in person. You would never say this in person because I only did it for a month. The ones that were like the cringiest are at the top of my mind. So I'll go. If you have any thoughts to add, jump in.
You want to hear the most?
Yeah. No, please. Yes. If you have it at the top, give it to us.
Someone as their first message.
Not the first message.
I think you would look really good with no teeth.
No, ma'am.
And I was like,
is that
what the fuck?
Why?
I don't know.
I'm trying to even think of it in a way that's like sexual or whatever.
I honestly took it as very scary.
Yo, it's terrifying.
I was like,
are you knock them out?
Are you gonna kidnap me and like methodically pull my teeth one by one? Okay. It was giving serial killer.
Did you give unmatched, a report, and block?
I think I deleted my whole account.
Like, if this is what I'm drawing, I'm going.
Yeah, and then I actually don't put that I'm a lawyer on my profile anymore.
Me neither, because I don't get matches.
Yeah.
Because y'all are scared.
It will totally destroy matches if you're a woman. I think all of my guy friends that I've talked to who are lawyers say that they've never had a problem with it. But I've noticed that I get a lot more matches when I don't have my job in my description. That's patriarchy.
Yeah.
But anyway, when I still had that, I was like a law student or an attorney in my dating app profiles. 50% of like the opening line was, "Can you get me out of trouble if I go to jail?"
Yeah.
No,
I
don't want.
No, I actually genuinely can because I don't know how. So that's okay. So that's another reason why I think my Hinge wasn't very successful. Because I was like, I'm going to be honest and make my profile, and men. Again, it could. I don't know any other experience. They'd be scared.
And creating a dating app profile is such a delicate dance of saying cool, curated, cute facts about yourself, but also not saying anything real about yourself.
Yes, because I've had a short experience. They don't care.
Yeah, and if you put on your dating app, like I know Hinge now has this function that's like, what type of relationship are you looking for, and you can put a few words in there.
Bumble has that too.
I like reading it, but honestly, if it's anything but a joke, if it's anything but lighthearted, I'm like, oh, that person has too much baggage. I'm not going to match with them.
Yikes.
Even though I should give them a better shot because people are real. They have that.
And this is what the apps are not made for like genuine connections. And I'm going to 2 weddings this year. They both met on online dating. Like it clearly can create genuine relationships, but it's so fast. Like somebody might look at me quickly like she's not cute. She's not it for me. I'm so cute. If you saw me in the streets, it would hit you differently, you know? But you just have such a fast, like, there's no way to really evaluate people. So I have tried in my short time to be kinder with my swipes. But then there's also, the other half of it's like, you're not going to piss me off and not be at my standards. So if I'm going to swipe on you, I need to at least see something, like, happening. So
another weird dynamic on dating apps is I wasn't even aware of this until a friend was looking at my chats with people and was giving their opinion on why my dating life is such a mess.
Yeah.
But basically, there's such a dynamic between who matches and who gives the first like. It's not even a question of who makes the first move anymore. It's like who was marked as the desired versus the desiring. And it sets such a tone.
Yeah.
Now that dynamic has been brought to my attention, I'm thinking about it all the time. And especially with men, it's like, I feel like I can't be the person that wants them more than they want.
Yeah.
Which, gender norm baggage, but.
Yeah. Right. But, and there's so much to unpack there. Because it's like the idea of like men like chasing women and all of these things. And it's like, you can do a little trot. You ain't got to like run. But I need you to do a little, shuffle your feet a little bit.
Yeah.
But I'm going to lose my cringes. I have to get them out.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know. Top 5 messages, maybe. One person just said, sup. And hello?
I don't respond to that.
What do you mean? I did, of course, because I started early on. I was like, maybe he just doesn't know how to start a conversation. And it was very dry. And I was like, your name on my phone is sup. Like, that's who you are. Pop the P. There was another person that didn't make it to a date. And 3 messages in, he was like, you know what I want to do to your body? I really should have just left it. His name in my phone was Mountain Man. Like, hopefully he never finds this. but
I know that story of Mountain Man.
Right,
I don't like
right.
it. I don't.
It's gone.
I missed 5 seconds ago when I did
right.
have the information.
I hear you.
I like.
It sounded worse, like kind of dorky. It was texting with your chest, but like. Yeah, right. It was insane. And I was like, why did I even engage in this?
No,
but
I like the confidence. I respect the confidence a lot.
I respected it until I did it. So that was one. Who else? I think one person, I was like, oh, what's your favorite food? And they were like, I just want to eat you. And I said, okay, well, unmatched. So I think there's just a lot of like explicit and like, I support the hookup culture. Y'all be safe out here. Don't be having any unwanted diseases or kids. But do what you want. But if I start a conversation with what's your favorite show, I don't think that is a spread the legs for just sexual attacks. You know what I'm saying?
Wait,
like what?
What is your favorite show turning into a sexual conversation?
Yes.
Clearly, I'm doing something wrong.
Wrong?
I don't know. I'm not getting to the sexy combo.
But here's the thing: I don't want them.
Okay.
And I definitely don't want them before I know, like, your last name. You know what I'm saying? Like, can we have some basis of commonality first? Like,
yeah.
You don't have to meet my mom.
To have sex with
I do ask.
Do you need to have someone's last name to have sex with?
But of course not. In reality, you don't have to have their first name, really. Yeah. Some people put their nickname on their profile. Yeah, so you're just living a lie, But I do, at the end of the first dates, I have asked what their last name is.
Oh, one thing this isn't so much cringy, but something that did make me delete Hinge one time was I agreed to go on a date with this guy, and then I'm someone that tends to like agree to meet up in person really fast. Okay. And sometimes I do it too fast. Mm-hmm. So in this case, I did it way too fast.
I just thought of another one.
Literally, first message he sent me was, "Do you want to do this for a date?" And I was like,
"Oh my god, wait, what was his name?"
I don't remember.
Mine was the name of the place we just ate at. Okay, we'll talk about that.
Show me a picture.
Yeah, we'll talk about that.
Maybe it is, but anyway, I'm like, yeah, let's do this. But we had planned for that date to be like a week out.
Yeah.
Then I text or message him something casual, and then no, I was definitely still messaging him. Mm-hmm. It hadn't been taken off the app yet.
Okay.
So I'm messaging him. I'm kind of getting like boring / maybe indifferent vibes from him. And also I was just having a very stressful week.
Yeah.
So honestly, like I think 2 days before, it wasn't the day before. It was like with a little bit of advance notice. I was like, hey, if I'm being honest, I actually don't like the dynamic we have going, and I think I don't want to go on this date anymore.
Yeah.
And me being someone who really is anti-ghosting.
Oh, same.
Yeah. I like try to be very transparent about how I'm feeling. So, and I told him because I thought this would kind of make him feel better, even though maybe that's a little presumptuous and narcissistic of me to think, you know, me turning him down on a date would like destroy his life.
Yeah.
But to try to cushion the blow, I was like, and you know what? Hinge has just been like really messing with my self-worth lately, so I think I'm gonna delete the whole app. Yeah. But I really wish you well. And some dudes, like, I'll say, like, oh, this isn't gonna work out, I wish you well. And they're really positive about it.
Yes.
I love when people are positive about that.
Yes.
But this specific guy, when I told him, like, I'm canceling the date, I'm also about to delete Hinge, he was like, that's bipolar as fuck. And
woo! So now you're mental health shaming me.
Yeah, and I was just like, oh my god. And then he also said some other, like, aggro, angry stuff. Yeah. And I was like,
the flags are red.
I'm glad I didn't meet up with you because you were, like, an evil
danger.
sleeper cell.
Yeah.
And it was going to come out at some point.
Yeah.
But that kept me off dating apps for like a solid month.
Yeah. Because the way it breaks on your mental health, the person I will talk about after, you know, we matched 2 messages and he was like, oh, when are you free? And I was like, oh, he's interested. I love this. His thing said he was looking for a relationship. And I said, oh, we'll see if you actually are. And I have very little rules. First rule, no, you're not about to slide inside the first
day.
Thing
you told me something so funny. No.
About the walls?
No, it was like no touching bits.
I don't know. No touching tender bits, no bumping uglies.
No bumping uglies.
Yes, on date 1. Which
at first when you said that to me, because you texted me, I was like, are you saying you refuse to bump shoulders with uglies? No. Are you just saying no uglies?
No. Well, that's a relative term. But that's like very little rules for me because I haven't dated very much. Listen, if y'all are getting it on the first date, I love that for you. Get yours. I'm just not at a place where I'm ready to do that. So I matched with this guy. He asked me out, and I'm just like, oh yeah, I like for the first one to be just like drinks or something. You know, let me know what time works for you. He's like, I'm free this day. I was like, great. There's so many funny stories of this. I don't save numbers because I'm a recovering simp, so I try not to get attached before I've like met them. We're attorneys. He calls me at 11. Number's not saved. I'm in court. I step out because I have like a lot of doctors, and I'm just like, hey. And he was like, hey, we still on for tonight? And I was like, who is this? And he was like, so-and-so. You don't remember from Bumble? And I said, oh my, I'm so sorry. I said, I'm so sorry. Can I just call you later? I'm at work. So of course I call him after and he's like, first of all, wrong guy, you know, how come you don't have my number saved? And I said, I'm so sorry. I don't want to be that person. And I'm not that poppin'. I just need to save numbers because life.
No, she is that poppin'.
And then I call him after and I'm just like, well, let's go to like this wine place that I like. And he was like, okay, when are you going to come scoop me? Scoop? Excuse me? Can you run it by me again? And I said, do you not have a car? He was like, nah, not right now. And I said, okay, well, I don't really feel comfortable picking you up before I've met you. Could you meet me there? And then maybe I could take you back if we're comfortable. And he was like, yeah, sure. Where you want to go? And I was like this place. But if you live over there, a cheaper Uber will be over there. He was like, all right, well, how long, what time? And I was like, 6:30. He was like, oh, okay. And then what after? And I was like, and then you go home after. And he was like, okay, well, when are you free? And I said, free for what, big dog? We have said 12 words to each other.
I hate that.
So I was just like, what do you want from me, truly? Because if you want me to
when are you free?
Yeah.
I'm free from this.
Yeah, exactly. I said, I'm not really like a hook up on the first date type of girl. What did I get? Beep, beep. I said, you know what? This is a humbling experience.
And this all happened to you in the hallway outside of
work. No. I called him at Publix. Like the second time, I called him back. It was like at 6 p.m.
So you go back in the courtroom, you're crying.
Exactly. And it wasn't even like because I'm popular enough to where that wasn't like a huge L, right? Like there's somebody else. I was like, this is silly. That like this quickly you like fell off. But I will say if you have like, I don't know, I think having dating rules sometimes is like problematic because you deny good things for yourself.
But it helps to have structure.
Right.
Someone I think we both know.
Yeah, we know a lot of people.
Yeah.
Okay.
recently shared with me, not her rules, but she has like a list of questions that she keeps in her phone that she like asks on first dates to share. Like,
tell her to share it.
It's so powerful, and I guess they really are weeder questions to try to really get to the root of people she's going on dates with. And when she first told me, I was like, "This is psychotic. Yeah, this is you are churning these dudes through your system like a factory. Yeah, and that's not personal. I mean, not that there's anything wrong with forming connections with many people in a short amount of time. Sure, yes. But it feels so impersonal. I feel like you're really not getting to know someone
transactional
when you're looking to eliminate them.
Yes, that's true.
But at the same time, I was like, airdrop me the list.
Send me the question, even if I need just a couple off the list.
Yeah, I am someone that does entertain really messy relationship structures because I do believe that love doesn't need to be reserved just for friends or just for significant others or just for your family. Like, people can occupy space in your life that's some combination of those things.
Okay, welcome back to part 3 of the chaos. I'm back from another break.
Yeah, I feel like I was in a really good role, but I've completely forgotten what I was saying before we got distracted.
The list. We were talking about your friend.
Oh yeah, my friend. She has a list. It's an amazing list, but it scares me because I don't want to be evaluated on a list like that.
Right.
But at the same time, I like for someone else to organize my thoughts. Yeah. Anyway, that is that.
Okay.
If someone comes up with a good systematized way to engage in online dating and not want to kill yourself,
right, monetize it, we will buy.
Yeah.
That's really it. So I think we went on a lot of tangents. I'm new to this. I have rules, but I'm also learning that they bend depending on who you are. So like, I have thoughts and guides, but if we're vibing and the thoughts are going past the guide, then we'll just bend them. So I think that you just have to do what you're comfortable with and what feels safe to you. And I kind of just want to end, because we've talked about a lot of things, on like safety in dating. And what have I gone on, like 4 days this week? I don't know. But like, men don't have rules. Or like, y'all not sharing your location. Women can be dangerous. We can snatch you up. Y'all should probably listen to this.
And the number of times men that I've met on dating apps have just let me into their house, I'm like, my guy, you have valuable items
with
in
my
here.
Purse. Yeah, you going to sleep, and I'm packing it up if I want to.
Oh my gosh!
Give us a story.
I'm not a kleptomaniac, but I think I'm a sleeper cell kleptomaniac. Okay. This is my moment for confessions. I did steal library books from my middle school library.
All right.
Well. Anyway, but yeah, sometimes I'll like find myself in a man's house and I'm like, oh, it would be so easy to steal this.
Yes.
But then I don't, because I'm not insane.
Right. And I love that for you.
But yeah, men don't have safety plans.
Right. So I guess I can just share mine since I've been doing this for a whole 5 weeks, and then y'all can figure out what you want to move and shake with. I hate sharing my location. I don't want people to know when I'm at Wendy's. I don't want people to know when I'm going to Macy's. But single Black woman in Atlanta trying to meet like strangers. So I have like 3 share my location buddies, and they won't judge me, and it's a safe space. I'm like, hey, this is date number 3. This is their name. This is what I know about them. This is a photo. Please check in if you can. And Mahi is an icon and literally is like, oh, this is where you're going. Have fun. What they look like. Send me your date outfit. And you want bi-hourly check-ins, 3-hour check-ins. And it's like amazing to have that, honestly, because A, I never had it before. And B, it's just like, I have someone I can chat with about this like fun dating like lifestyle. And I have someone who generally like gives a fuck about me. So if I don't answer in several hours, I presume she's going to do something to try and help me and or find me.
Except for the one time I fell asleep, which I am sorry about that.
That was the second date. So then it was safe anyway.
Yeah.
We vetted it.
Shout out to my friend Anjali, who was the first one to offer bi-hourly check-ins via text when I went on a date with someone. But it's really nice because when I'm on first dates, sometimes there's so much happening. I'm not processing it. I'm very slow to process my emotions in general. And definitely like when we're out in a restaurant or something, I'm not doing it. But if I have someone that I can text who's like on call to text me back when I like pop in the bathroom or something, it helps me feel way more like I'm myself. I'm not like being just swept up in the moment.
Yeah. And I think that helps. I'm like, this is great. We have connection. Like, I have a life. I have friends. I have humans outside of this space. So it does help me, like, stay grounded as well. I'm trying to think of other, like, dating tips.
I'm someone who's not very punctual. I'll give them 25 minutes. At 30 minutes, I'm walking out.
I haven't been on enough dates, but as the woman, if it's 10 minutes, I'm leaving.
Interesting. One time, not my very first.
With no tech, give me notice.
Oh yeah. Oh no, if they're not even texting you, 10 minutes, you're gone.
Yeah. Okay. You're saying if they're running late.
If they're running late.
Oh yeah. We'll give them a little 20 minutes.
No, but the first year I was on dating apps, so this was 2016.
My God.
I haven't been on dating apps for that whole time, but like this was like the first. I just finished my first year of college. Like I was very young. Yeah. Very naive.
Wow.
And this was like the first date from a dating app I went on that was not someone I knew already from school. Mm-hmm. He was 45 minutes late, and he texted me when he was like 5 minutes late, and he was like, "Hey, I'm gonna be late, but I have a really funny story, and it'll pay off, and I'll tell you when I get there." And I was like, "Okay, awesome.
I can make myself laugh. I'm absolutely not."
Oh my God. When he got there, he told me he was late because he had to download every single Goosebumps book onto his phone.
For his child?
For himself.
No.
He was like, I'm a man of literature.
That's a child's book.
It is.
Yeah, well, you and your literature have a good solo day. I'm going home.
Yeah.
Absolutely not.
It was so bad.
Okay.
And if you'll believe it, the date went downhill from there.
What? I mean, did he pull it out the table? How much worse could it get?
We went from like a pretty nice restaurant to a park. Not inherently bad.
Okay.
But it was New Orleans in July.
Okay.
And it was the middle of the day. It took me to this clearing in the middle of like
y'all know this is the red flag.
Tall grass. Like clearing. Grass much taller than either of us.
I hope we're not getting your first story.
As he's walking me deeper and deeper into this clearing, I'm reaching for my mace. Because I'm like, this is not going to end well.
Yes.
He ended up taking me to this like cute little pier, which like I love that. But like my makeup was melting, I was sweating, and we were eating spicy food in the heat. And then and he had driven us from like the park from the restaurant to the park. Yeah. And so then afterwards I was like, yeah, I think it's time for me to go. Can you like drive me back to my car? And he was like, you don't want to get like snow cones or something? No, I was like, absolutely not. Thanks, no, thank you.
Yeah. And we should end it with something positive and not so much cringe. I think my last question is like, do you still believe in like love and like long-term relationships? Quick answer for me, yes. Even though I divorce all day and all these things, I do think that like love is really important. It can be really powerful, and when used in like a wholesome, non-manipulative kind of way, I do think that generally still exists, and we just have to have the patience and the grit to go through the cringe to get there.
Yeah, I 100% believe love still exists, and that like real, true fairy tale love exists. But especially now that I'm a divorce lawyer, I'm embracing the fact that the form of the relationship has to be able to evolve. And sometimes that means the relationship ends and you go from lovers to friends or family to friends. Mm-hmm. But you can still love each other just as much, I think.
Thanks for listening, friends. Thank you for coming.
Thanks for having me.
And happy Valentine's Day.
Happy Valentine's Day.